Hey guys, Silverbatorian here, and I just thought I would show this off for reference at some point. I still intend to let's play this game, this being Metroid Prime 2 of course, and I just thought I would demonstrate the difference between a hard mode boss and a normal boss. Of course the normal for reference won't come for a while, but I thought I would just start off with the hard mode since I'm still finishing off my playthrough with that. Or rather, I'm just getting back to it. This here is the third major boss, Quadraxis. He is the boss of the Sanctuary Fortress, well, technically the Ing Hive, which is probably one of my favorite areas in the game. It is also probably one of the best areas in the game. Quadraxis, as you see, is a rather large mech, and this is all post-commentary by the way, is a rather large, I want to say spider mech even though he only has 4 legs, but that's how it goes. How this fight goes is he has a variety of attacks like shooting those missiles, that beam there, which that beam there is actually what you get for defeating him. That's your reward. But how this fight goes is you saw at the start I destroyed those things on the bottom of his feet, which are essentially like control mechanisms, which will make the legs become vulnerable, or rather the leg joints, which they are only vulnerable when they're flashing blue, which is rather obnoxious to be perfectly honest, because you'll see several times when I will fire and it'll bounce off right before, like it'll go to being invulnerable right before the missile hits. You'll also notice I had a bit of problems aiming, like the lock-on would shift when I don't want it to. So you've seen the, yeah, like right there. So you've seen the beam, you've seen this little machine gun, you've seen his lasers. He only has 2 more attacks, which he probably won't be using till later in the fight. As for how far I am in the game, I have, well, you can see what I have supply-wise. I have 135 missiles total. I have 3 of the 5 ammo packs for the beams, which I'll state my words on how that is when I actually get to the Let's Play itself, but you can see I haven't even done any damage to his life bar yet. This fight has 3 individual phases, and the first phase is by far the most obnoxious. Once I destroy the first one, this fight starts to go a little faster, but it just takes a little bit. Another thing that makes this fight a little bit obnoxious is, if you notice, I am taking constant health there up at the top. There, in the Dark World, of course, you take constant damage until or while you're in the Dark World. With, suit I have being the Dark Suit, it reduces the damage taken, but not by a terrible amount. Now to destroy these things on the bottom, you can either bomb them or use the boost ball and go through them to destroy them. I would, if I didn't get a good chance to use the boost ball, I would just throw a power bomb down, which was guaranteed to destroy them. The boost ball requires 2 hits on hard mode, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, you saw as we destroyed that first joint and the second joint there, Quadraxis had finally lost some health, which is useful. And from here on out, the fight, this is actually my 3rd attempt. The first attempt was me not really remembering how the fight went in general. The second attempt, I forgot to scan one of his forms, and since I kind of OCD about getting all the scans, I had to go back and restart that, and I was on the final form when I remembered, or when I realized. Now the energy pickups is, he will often drop 100 health energy pickups when you destroy a part of him, which is useful for keeping your life up. That would be those orange pickups right there. And those attacks there were his 2 final attacks. I'll get a bit more into them when he uses them again, and he will use them again before this fight is over. I rather like the design of him in general. He is essentially a large version of one of the basic enemies you fought throughout the game, and I just like how they work together. You use a lot of the abilities that you've gotten both through this zone and the boost ball, which it doesn't use every ability, but it does make use of a fair few of them, which I kind of like as a bit of a final exam boss. Anyway, that attack there is a little laser thing, which you need to go into the morph ball and preferably boost to escape it. Well, he tried to do the little spinning attack there again, but as he hit me before it actually began, it both canceled it. I still took damage, but I did not take as much damage as I would have had he began the actual spinning attack in general. But as you can see, I'm doing a fairly good job of keeping my health pretty much up there, which is pretty useful. He only has one more... Oh, yeah, the laser attack. If the laser attack actually hits you, it kind of locks you out of being able to shoot for a little bit. And here's the spinning attack in general, which he will try to suck you in. It's best to back away and circle straight. And as you shoot him, he will eventually stop spinning, which is pretty much what you want to do. You may be able to boost ball into him to stop him as well. You can do that with the lesser versions, or rather doing that with the lesser versions is how you would kill them. And there I try to time it so that a missile will hit it as it becomes vulnerable before I go to the boost ball or morph ball to escape that. And then from here you can see that as I'm far enough away, he isn't really doing a very good job of sucking me in with that attack. So knowing how this boss works and playing defensively is a very easy way to not die or anything during it. And that with the third or fourth leg joint destroyed will push us into phase 2 of the fight. When this happens, Quadraxis is immobilized as we have destroyed all of the leg joints. So he cannot walk. What happens here is, as the body is essentially shutting down, the head disengages to keep its mobility and floats around. Now, I'm getting the scans here real quick. The thing with this phase is that the head is shielded. You cannot harm it. You can see right there it's called the shielded head module. Now how this works is in this zone you get something called the sonic visor, which is what I'm using right here. There is an antenna from the body which is sending commands to the head there, so it will be like providing the shield and just basically command data. Once you destroy the antenna on the body, there will be 3 antennas on the head which will be revealed as it tries to restore a command uplink. Destroy one of them, it will drop one of these little quad walkers, which are made up of 2 parts, the head and the legs. It's usually best to destroy the head first because destroying the eggs is really easy. You just need to bait them into this attack. Boost ball into them, and it will do this where it'll kind of short the legs out, and it will have to deploy a control rod as it's both cooling off and restoring command. Boost ball through the control rod, and it is instantly destroyed, making them, ironically for how far in the game this is, one of the easier enemies to destroy. Now from here you see there were 3 antennas total. We got to destroy all 3, and then that will be the end of this phase. After destroying the second one is an annoying part as he drops 2 quad walkers, which this part is especially annoying as I kind of did it wrong. You can see that it did the leg spin, and I at this point just like, you know what, I'm just gonna destroy the legs. And I believe I end up destroying both legs before I even destroy any of the heads, which is annoying in its own right. As the heads, they become shielded, and you cannot hit them with super missiles, which is what I was using before, 2 super missiles to destroy it. Now, super missile, of course, being a charged shot using missiles when you have the power beam equipped. Here with the dark beam, there are, of course, charged weapons for both the dark and the light beam. At this point, I only have the charge for the light beam. I did not go to get the charge for the dark beam. Not because I didn't know where it was, but because it required backtracking that I didn't feel like doing at that moment. Anyway, with that, the first one destroyed. I don't know why I went to the morph ball form there. It's a good idea to just destroy the heads here, and so they're not causing any problems. When I did, what am I trying to say? The first time I did this fight, I was kind of hovering around only 2 energy tanks for the majority of the fight, but I was keeping that health consistent. So that was just, if you're able to avoid the hits, you can keep your health fairly consistent and stable, which is rather nice and useful, even on hard mode. In truth, hard mode is only really difficult at the start of the game when you don't have enough resources to be able to maintain your everything. At this point, when I have 3/4 of the energy tanks and everything else, it's pretty easy to keep alive. Destroying that essentially destroys the command antenna in general, which means he cannot be shielded. His AI is kind of fracturing, which is, he destroyed part of his body before he was able to return control, which leads us to the final phase of the fight, and one of the easier in general. He only has 2 hits left, which are both extremely easy to get. Now what you would have to do here is, first of all, you need to stun the body, which just a few shots, powerful shots, a super missile and a bit of rapid fire was enough to do that. He starts going off in this direction. What you need to do is get up on his body. His legs had spider ball tracks, which have the ability you can run up them and then boost off of them to get to somewhere. Now at this point, I'm going to try to get back up on the body. I fail the first 2 attempts to get onto his body there because I'm just not paying attention, and when I'm in position to finally jump off on top of him, he regains control, which throws me off the spider ball point. So this is, I'm actually paying attention to what direction he's going first so I don't just mess it up completely. I don't remember why I messed this one up. I don't know if it's if I miss. No, it's because I miss. I went a little too early and I missed that. So I run over to the next one here and he regains control right before he gets to it. But as you can see from here, it's a rather simple fight. And if you've noticed, he has those 2 little ports on his head. That's what we're aiming at. We want to get up there and put a bomb in each. Doing that will defeat him. So he only has 2 hits left, 2 hits that are fairly easy to get. Even if I did terribly from here, I have enough life left that I should not die. And I really like this first shot because I land right in the hole. But there's the first bomb, which I don't know what the camera is doing here, to be honest. But there was the first bomb, which just weakens him. I just gathered up the supplies a little bit more and completely mess up that super missile hit. And then from here, it's just one more super missile hit, see what direction he's going, jump on top of him, and then destroy him. This fight, though, is kind of a rather long fight if you've noticed. It took me about 14 minutes total. As you can see, it's not really terribly difficult in any specific way, and for the most part, the length came from that first phase. But we get up here, we bomb the other side, and that is Quadraxis destroyed. I don't know if he's my favorite boss just from the design or otherwise, but there was this video. I'll probably have the comparison when I get to Metroid Prime 2, whenever that is. It probably won't be for a few months. I don't really know. And Samus looking like a badass. And I mentioned that the reward was that beam you saw him using at the start. This is the Annihilator beam. It's basically an antimatter gun. Rather nice, really useful, can do just about everything, but it's a little impractical as it uses both light and dark ammo. I'll complain about that when I actually get to the LP. See you guys later. It's been Silver Praetorian with Let's Kill Quadraxis.